Her Majesty's former posting in London. So we are looking forward to hearing what he has to say. So Kedrick, if you can come up.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. And good morning. I was going to acknowledge His Excellency the Governor and the Premier, but they're not here. And I was also going to use this opportunity to thank the Premier for the opportunity to be back in the BVI, in this very important position. It's good to be back in January as well. So I understand how you feel, Chris. It's not a pleasant place to be in the UK at this time of the year. The IFC, now BVI Finance, and you would have observed the brand by looking at the back of your brochure, is not just a name change. It is really a change in culture. It's a change in the fundamental way that the organization is working and is going to work. It's a fundamental change in how we do business. And brand IFC, BVI Finance, we realize is at the center of the change that's being proposed by the McKinsey study, which the Permanent Secretary outlined before. This change is clearly spelled out in the McKinsey study. There is a very specific prescription for IFC, as there is for all the other organizations, and we have already begun the process of making those changes. We realize how critical the IFC is to what has to be done in the BVI. And we have sat down as a team at BVI Finance. I have to get used to saying BVI Finance. And we have looked at what needs to be done. We have looked at the McKinsey study, and we've made changes in that direction to begin with. We realize that an organization is made up of people, and for you to make changes, the persons in the organization have to change. And we've had those discussions with the team at the BVI Finance. And actually, we've adopted change as our 2015 theme. So when we move to our new premises, you will see on the wall our 2015 theme. It will just say change. That's what we are focused on. To begin the process, we have refined the vision for the IFC, and I'll just share with you what our current vision is to be an innovative, proactive, efficient, and respected international finance center. That is the vision we have set for ourselves. And our mission is to promote the world-class international business services and protect the reputation of the BVI as a leading international finance center. That is our mission that we've set for ourselves. We have also looked at the environment, many of which were spoken about this morning, in terms of what is happening in the wider global community, what are the conditions that are shaping financial services, the economic situation, the financial climate in the world. We know that's shaping a lot of activity, as was discussed with the panelists. The global shift in economic and political power, we know that that is causing countries to look at small jurisdictions such as us differently. The whole redefinition of the financial system. We know that politics and media are now driving policy, and therefore, as was mentioned, I think it was Ron who mentioned that it is equally to be perceived as doing as it is to be doing. And that is the challenge that Christopher has, is to help us to be perceived as doing as much as we are actually doing. That is a two-pronged approach to really making the changes. So, Mr. Chairman, if I may, I'd just like to take a few minutes to update everyone on some of the changes that we're trying to make at the IFC. First and foremost, we're changing our location. So hopefully by February, we will be in our new home in the Cutlass building, which is right across from Scotiabank. And we hope that by mid-February, we can invite you all there to enjoy the new location and to have a bit of a relaunch of some of the work that we're doing with Christopher and his team. We know we've changed our agency, we've changed our brand. We've had a bit of a soft launch on the brand. You would have seen the brand, the new brand circulating, but there's a bit more work we're doing on it. We're developing a new brand strategy, working with Christopher and his team at FTI and their marketing affiliate. So we're coming up with a marketing strategy to support the new IFC brand. We're going to change the look and feel of how the IFC and how BVI is advertised in financial services, and hopefully most of this will be in place within the next month or so. We're looking at how we're strategically positioned. We're looking at the public relations, public affairs function. We're looking at the critical messaging, which is part of communicating to the wider stakeholders of what is happening in a way that supports what you're trying to do. We're looking at our stakeholder list, who are the persons who need to affect the change that is going to take place. We're looking at crisis management. We're looking at everything, because essentially, if you're going to redefine financial services, you have to redefine the IFC. And if you redefine the IFC, you have to redefine everything the IFC does. And that's the work that we've started. We're changing the website. Again, the new site is out there, but it was a bit of a soft launch. We're looking to see how we can align the website and the branding and the advertising so that there's seamless perception of the brand. We're looking at social media and how we can integrate Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, and all the social media services into the website. We're strengthening the relationships with our partners. We work very closely with the Financial Services Business Development Committee, chaired by Mrs. Lorna Smith. We've met with FSC, with Mr. Mactavius and all of his team leaders, to understand how the BVI Finance can be a stronger intermediary between the market needs of the private sector and the mandate of the Commission, so that we can facilitate the communication. The Premier mentioned the link with the Tourist Board. We've met with the Director, Sharon Flax-Moores, and her team to see how we can work together, or continue to work together, so that tourism and financial services, who are speaking to the same audience, can work more effectively together and to leverage the brand, leverage our resources. We met with the Financial Services Institute at HLSCC to see how the education and the human capital strategy can work in line with where the industry is going. We've been working with the London office under the leadership of Mr. Benito Wheatley, and with Elise Donovan at the Hong Kong office, to make sure that London, Hong Kong, and BVI are always in sync in terms of how we are promoting and protecting financial services. And having spent 5 years there, I think I understand how that needs to work. And we're also working with the industry. We've met with Team BVI, an excellent set of ambassadors for the brand, and we have talked about how Team BVI can develop and grow and help IFC with his mandate. We know that Elise's have Team BVI Asia also fully engaged. There's a team in Latin America that's also working with us here in BVI. And most importantly, we're working on our sector strategies with the focus on what are the immediate wins within the various sectors. How can we reposition each of the sectors for substance and growth? There was a discussion about that this morning. How can we leverage the brand? How can we leverage the IFC brand, the IFC effectiveness to other areas of the business? We're looking at the legislative amendments coming. Am I out of time, Mr.? Time is up. Okay, and there's much more I can speak about. We spoke about the media. We're just chatting with Christopher about how we need to work with the media to help engage their support of the work that we have to do. And of course, the wider community, and looking at human resource development. And there's much more that we need to do. There's much more that we are doing. and I hope you would stop by the booth and chat with us. Lisa Green, our marketing manager, and Sharoma Hodge, Philip, our media relations officer, there, and myself. So please chat with us, see what we're doing, and we're happy to share with you. And again, Mr. Chairman, I thank you for the opportunity. IFC is BVI Finance is very happy to support Business Outlook. BVI is a very good medium for discussion, and we've heard a lot of very good ideas exchanged today, which I think seems to have been getting some traction. So thank you very much.